the tidy drawer. One Saturday morning, Abby's mom came upstairs to see Abby in her bedroom, or tried to. There was so much mess on the floor, she could only poke her head around. Abby sat in the middle of it all, reading a book. What a tip, Mom said. You need to have a clear up in here. Why? Abby asked. Why? Mom repeated. Because things get broken or lost when they're all willy-nilly like this. Come on, have a tidy up now. But I'm very busy, Abby argued, and it's pouring on my own. Can't you help me? No, I can't. I'm busy too. But I'll give you extra pocket money if you do a good job. When Mom came back later, all the toys and clothes and books had disappeared. I'm impressed, said Mom, but I'll inspect it properly later. It was easy, said Abby. Can I have my extra pocket money now? All right, get it out of my change purse. It's in the kitchen tidy drawer. In the kitchen, Abby went over to the dresser and pulled open the tidy drawer. She hunted for the purse. Any luck? Mom asked. Abby shook her head. It must be lurking at the bottom, Mom said. Let's have a proper look. She pulled the drawer out and carried it over to the table. Abby knelt up on a chair to look inside. There were lots of boring things like staplers and string, but there were lots of interesting things as well. What's this? Abby asked, holding up a plastic bottle full of red liquid. Mom laughed. Fake blood from Halloween party years ago. Your dad and I took you to that dressed up as a baby vampire. You were really scary. I don't remember that. Abby carried on looking through the drawer. She found some vampire teeth, white face paint, plastic witch nails, and hair gel. Mom pulled out a glittery hairband. It had springs with wobbly balls on the top that flashed disco colors. She put it on her head while she carried on looking through the drawer. Abby found some sparkly hair elastics to match the hairband. She made her mom put lots of little bunches all over her head so she looked really silly. I remember this, Abby said as she pulled out a plastic bag. This is from my pirate party. Inside there was a black false mustache and some big gold earrings. She peeled the sticky backing of the false mustache and stuck it on Mom's top lip, then found a paintbrush in the drawer and painted a fierce red scar down her cheek using fake blood. Mom clipped on the pirate earrings. Come here, Mom said, and smeared white face paint all over Abby's face. She dribbled big blood so it looked as if it was coming out of Abby's eyes and mouth. She put gel all over Abby's hair and made it stand up into weird pointy shapes. Abby put in the vampire teeth and slipped on the witchy fingers. She made scary noises at wow, the cat. He ignored her and carried on washing himself on the seat next to her. What's Abby asked, holding up a flat rubbery thing. It was hard to speak through the vampire teeth. It's a whoopee cushion, Mom said. You blow it up and sit on it. It makes real noises. She blew it up and gave it to the Abby. Suddenly there was a knock at the back door. A voice called out, "Hello, it's only me. I've let myself in." It was the noisy neighborhood Mrs. Hislop. She was always interfering and complaining. Mrs. Hislop entered the kitchen, her mouth dropped open. "We're just looking for the changed purse," Abe explained. Yes, uh, Mrs. Hislop said, "I just wanted a word about your fence. Some of it's blown down on my side." At that moment, Abby sat on the whoopee cushion and let out an enormous rude noise. "Wow, wow!" Jumped out of his seat and ran away. "Well," said Mrs. Hislop, and hurried from the room and out of the house. When the door banged shut, Abby and Mom burst out laughing until Mom's mustache hung on by the whisker and Abby's vampire teeth dropped out. Abby came to sit on her mom's knee. "It's fun doing this together," she said. "Maybe, but we still haven't found the change purse." They both looked at the enormous heap of things spread over the kitchen table. "Well, things will get lost or broken when they are all willy-nilly," Abby said. "You cheeky monkey," Mom laughed. "But what shall I do with it all?" "I know it's easy," Abby said and began to scoop everything off the table into her arms. She dumped it all back into the kitchen drawer. Mom looked at her suspiciously. "Let's go and it's back to the bedroom, shall we?" Abby followed her upstairs and into her bedroom. Wow was sitting in front of her fish tank looking hungry at the goldfish. He dashed under the bed when he saw Mom and Abby. Mom kneeled down and lifted the bed cover to get him up. Underneath were heaps of Abby's toys, books, Dave's clothes and shoes, empty plastic cups and wrappers, and a half-eaten sandwich on a plate. "Abby, what's this?" "It's my tidy drawer," Abby said. She wrapped her arms around her mom and gave her a kiss. "Let's sort this one out together now."